He was the nicest guy on the internet. Like, genuinely. In a world of streamers screaming at their monitors, rage quitting, beefing with each other, getting banned, this guy was out here covering his mouth when he laughed. Covering his mouth like a Disney character. Millions of people watched this man. They loved him. He played Among Us with literal celebrities on Jimmy Fallon. He was on a stream with Bernie Sanders in 2024. Bernie Sanders, the man who wanted to tax billionaires, was chilling with Sykkuno. And then, on April 10th, 2026, a 32-page Google Doc dropped. 32 pages. That's longer than most people's college thesis. Someone sat down and typed 32 pages about this man, and what they found was the complete opposite of everything his fans thought they knew. Today we're talking about the rise and the very messy fall of Sykkuno. Let's go back, way back, 2011. A young man named Thomas, who we'll just call Sykkuno because nobody knows his last name, and honestly that should have been a red flag, starts posting League of Legends videos on YouTube. Nobody watched them, and I mean nobody. We're talking double-digit view counts. The man was posting into the void. He does this for years, nearly a decade, just quietly uploading, barely streaming, existing in the background of the internet. But in April 2019, his friend Lily Pichu basically talks him into streaming regularly on Twitch. Lily Pichu, remember that name? The internet always forgets to thank the person who accidentally started everything. So Sykkuno starts streaming, and here's the thing, his whole vibe was completely different from everyone else at the time. No yelling, no rage, no hot takes, just a calm, soft-spoken dude playing video games and being genuinely nice to people.
Oh no!
In the streaming world, that was basically a superpower. Then 2020 hits. COVID, lockdowns, everyone stuck at home, and Among Us, a game about lying to your friends, somehow becomes the biggest game on the planet. And Sykkuno, he was built for Among Us, because Among Us is literally a game about deception, and this man had a face that said, "I have never lied in my life." He'd be the imposter, murdering everyone, and people would still vote him out last. His viewership exploded. He hit 1 million Twitch followers in August 2020. By December 2020, he was the fastest growing streamer on the platform, gaining over 620,000 followers in a single month. He was playing with Pokimane, Disguised Toast, Valkyrae, Corpse Husband, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye. He was everywhere. And the fans, they adored him. They called him wholesome, they called him pure. They literally fanshipped him with every female streamer he ever interacted with because the idea of him having a girlfriend felt too real and too beautiful for the internet to handle. Little did they know. In 2022, he signed an exclusive deal with YouTube Gaming and left Twitch. This was a massive deal. YouTube was poaching top streamers left and right, and Sykkuno was one of the biggest gets. He was living in Las Vegas. He had his own place. His career was at an all-time high. On stream, he was still the same guy, shy, wholesome, covering his mouth when he laughed. Fans called it his anime protagonist energy. He was the main character, the gentle hero. And off-stream? Well, off-stream, apparently, things were a little different, because here's something that came out in the drama. Sometime around 2021, Sykkuno had a girlfriend, a real, long-term, live-in girlfriend. And in the years that followed, almost nobody knew she existed. Not his fans, not people in his friend group. According to Valkyrae, one of his closest friends, someone who literally lived with him at one point, she had no idea he even had a girlfriend. So either Sykkuno was running some kind of elite witness protection program for his relationship, or the wholesome persona was working a little too well. April 10th, 2026. A VTuber named HemoMallVT drops the document. 32 pages, screenshots, DMs, PayPal receipts, voice recordings. This wasn't a tweet. This wasn't a subtweet. This was a dissertation, and what it alleged was this, that Sykkuno, while in a secret long-term relationship since 2021, had been pursuing multiple women online, mostly smaller, up-and-coming content creators. He'd follow them, DM them, build deep emotional connections, talk about meeting up, sometimes fly them to events or send them money, all while they didn't know he had a girlfriend back home. The first interaction between Himamal and Sykkuno, Valentine's Day 2026. Valentine's Day. Bro was on Valentine's Day approaching a new girl. The audacity of this man. Within weeks, he was sending her money unprompted, which she described as, and I'm paraphrasing here, a behavioral pattern he used with women he was interested in. Like, this was a whole system. The document went viral immediately. Over 20 million views on Twitter within hours. More women started coming forward. The internet, as it does, picked up its pitchforks. And then the streamer reactions started rolling in. XQC jumped on stream immediately. His take? He wasn't buying the Predator label. He went on a full rant. Anime PFP, anime PFP, anime PFP, no proof, no receipts, and said he'd bet everything he owned that the situation was being overblown. He did acknowledge the cheating, but he pushed hard on separating that from calling the man a predator. XQC, by the way, who has his own very extensive relationship drama history, standing up to defend the nice guy. We love the chaos. Also, apparently, there's an old clip floating around of XQC giving Sykkuno relationship advice 4 years ago about dating multiple people at once. So that's a fun little detail that the internet found.
It's kind of like roulette, you know. You wanna go to the table and put your chips on multiple positions, and hopefully one of them pays off. Hopefully the better one. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
Valkyrae, one of Sykkuno's best friends, initially just tweeted, "Disappointing," which, as a response to a 32-page document, is impressively understated. She then went live and revealed that she had spoken with Sykkuno privately, that yes, he told her everything, and the quote that broke the internet, "I did not know he had a girlfriend." But her core message was clear. She called him a cheater, she said it was selfish, and she apologized to the women involved. And Sykkuno himself? Radio silence. He deactivated his social media, deleted his Twitter community, posted nothing. Here's the part that I think is actually the most interesting piece of this whole story. The warning signs were there in 2020. A woman named Lena came forward back then and said she dated Sykkuno from 2015 to 2018. She described his off-camera personality as, and again, paraphrasing, the exact opposite of his wholesome string persona. And the internet ignored it completely because the Sykkuno brand was too valuable, too beloved. The image was too clean. His friends didn't look too hard. His fans didn't look too hard. The platform didn't look too hard. Because nobody wanted to believe that the one streamer who seemed genuinely nice wasn't. Even Disguised Toast called his bluff when Sykkuno started streaming 5 years ago.
My first impression of Lily is like, drop the fucking act, bro. I know, I see through you, okay?
Well, what do you think now?
Oh.
And then you realize he's just like this 24/7.
No, he's just really good at keeping it up. But one day he's gonna slip.
And there's something almost poetic about the fact that his
Maybe it's not
downfall
Ray.
came
Maybe it's
through
not Ray. I
Among
could
Us
be wrong.
logic. Because Among Us
I
is
could
literally
just
a
be
game
wrong.
about one person
It's Ray.
pretending to
Oh
be
my God, not
crewmate
again.
while doing something completely
This keeps
different
happening, guys.
behind the
I
scenes.
keep sussing out the imposter. I vote for the person
He
who
was
it is,
always the
and then they just
imposter.
vote me off.
We just kept voting him out
I don't know what
last.
to do. I don't know what to say. This is the second round in a row. I've literally...
Look, I'm not here to be judge and jury. Sykkuno has said nothing publicly. There's still things we don't know, and the internet has a long history of destroying people before all the facts are in. But what we do know is this. A man spent years building the most wholesome persona in streaming and apparently lived an entirely different life off camera. He played a character for millions of people who genuinely loved him. And when that character cracked, it cracked in the most spectacular 32-page Valentine's Day PayPal receipt way possible. The nicest guy on the internet. Turns out, maybe not so much. If you're new here, subscribe. And if you've been watching this whole thing unfold in real time, drop a comment below. I want to know, did you see this coming? Or did Sykkuno have you fooled too? I'll catch you in the next one.